episode of Radio with Pictures in the Field from our Central Division Consultation. We are here today with Merewairita Nasiri from the Kaba Women's Group, as well as Pushpa Manu, the president of the Akriti Mothers Club in Vuci, Sheleni Lata, the secretary of the Sheetal Sharda Mothers Club from Waituri, and also Vilomena Koroi, who is the senior circuit steward for the Dilkusha Methodist Women's Fellowship. Morning, ladies. Thank you for being here today. So I want to talk about development, because this year, in 2017, there's going to be a focus on consultations for the 5-year and the 20-year National Development Plan, but also in the context of post-TC Winston, resilient communities. So coming to you, Merewairita, I'd like to come to you first, because you're from Kaba Island, right? How long did it take you to get here today this morning?
Thank you. I traveled by boat this morning from Kaba village to the mainland, which takes me 6 miles to reach the mainland, and 6 kilometers to reach the town. Then took me about 10 kilometers to reach the whole thing.
What time did you have to wake up this morning to get to Suva?
I have to wake up about 3 o'clock.
3 o'clock in the morning?
Yes.
Wow. So what does development mean for you?
Development means for me, like my issue is from my village is been water linked to health security. It's been there for a decade. Water, we've been facing this issue about decades, and I've been going through this issue. I don't know how long I've been going through this issue. And for us in Kaba, we really need water because there's no water pipe in Kaba. We just refer to the rainwater, which the Lord gives us every day. If it's no rain, then we don't have water.
Okay, thank you, Merewairita. I'd like to come to you, Pushpa. I'm listening to what Mary was saying about she wakes up at 3 o'clock in the morning to come to the main center. For you, what is it like for you in terms of accessing infrastructure in Nasori?
For me, it's very easy because I can catch the transport anytime because we have the bus going. It's not ours, it's every 20 minutes you have the bus. Even we have the passing cabs. The space medicine, same as the bus fare, and then you go. And
linking it to health, because Merewairita was saying
that's what I'm saying. And then it's easy for me, but the others I'm talking about rural community. And some of them they find it very difficult. Like I'm just 15 minutes away from town, but some others are right in interior. They don't have the transport. So just imagine if somebody is sick and have to go to the health center. They have to wait for the transport, and if not, then they have to pay for their own fares. So that's the difficult part because people are not rich in rural areas. And imagine when we go to the health center, we have to wait for so long hours, and at times you see there's no doctor there, and our ambulance services is so poor. Nasori is a developing town, but yes, we need our health services to be improved as well.
Thank you, Pushpa, because we were hearing from Ashna in the previous episode about her problems accessing health and the ambulance services in Navur, so you're hearing the same thing in Nasori. Mrs. Koroi, I'd like to come to you because you represent 50 women from the Dilkusha Methodist Women's Fellowship. For these 50 women and also in Dilkusha, what is development like? And Sheleni, I'll come to you.
To me, development is about infrastructure. Because in Nasori area, we not only deal with this rural community, it's about the 3 big provinces. That's Merewairita Nasiri. The main town is Nasori. So from my own experience, I came one morning at 7 o'clock I was there, and I was seen at 12 o'clock. Why? We were all crowded there, and then so pathetic. The service, I don't know, lack of nurses or lack of doctors, and we crowded there. When it rains, it's leaking, and I know that there's a lot of improvement in the development of health services in Missouri area. I look after these women. 50 women all scattered right from Wainimokasi to Ralevo, Sawani, up to Tencent Supermarket. That's where the women I look after. And on top of that, the 4 schools, if I add the community in the schools, about 1,200. These children, when they get sick, the school pays for the taxi fare from there to there. And when we come, it's all crowded like that. It's really bad. We really need a better place, a bigger place for the development of health services in Missouri.
Thank you, Mrs. Koroi. Sheleni, after listening to Merewairita, Pushpa and Vilomena, I'd like to, because here at this table, we've got 4 women here, and we represent a large kind of community in Missouri. And the government, they have a commitment to increasing the participation of women in decision-making structures, including with health, in the National Gender Policy. So, for your perspective as the Secretary of the Sheetal Sharda Mothers Club, why is it important to include women in decision-making?
I think that it is very important to include women in decision-making, because women come across all sorts of issues. Like, women are the ones who look after the family, and women are the ones who knows that who is sick, like husband, children. They look after their in-laws, and they also look after the small infants, and if anybody is disabled and anybody is bedridden, women are the ones who look after them. So I think that they are the first ones, because women look after everybody. Women are the main key issue. Key. So in decision making, women has they know what is wrong and what is right. So before making any decisions, we should approach women.
Thank you, Sheleni. Merewairita and Pushpa, Sheleni said that before decisions are made, we should approach women. In terms of the local government structures, I know that we've been talking about before district advisory councillors in Missouri. Pushpa, you've had experience speaking to them. They are men, and it's a bit difficult to get your issues across. So how can we improve that structure?
It's not big, it's very difficult because they don't understand. They are just like sort of whatever you say, they always undermine you. So we I'm talking about myself. We want more women. Like in Missouri, we have 18 to 19, only one female advisory councillor in Missouri. So we are really trying hard we want more women to be there, because we have problems. Sometimes when you approach men, they don't understand our problems. If a woman is there and one can't do it, one woman can't make any difference. So we need we are talking about 30%. So where is that 30%? And we really want to see that 30% present.
So how can we do that? I mean, Nasori it's a very important subdivisional town. And so, for example, looking at a divisional level, if the Commissioner Central was sitting here at the table and you had the opportunity to tell him what you wanted in the National Development Plan, what would you say to him? What's the one thing that you want to make sure he understands? Merewairita?
We should ask him if he could just let the 30% of us ladies to be in the advisory council, so that because ladies know us much better than men.
But also maybe from an Itoke perspective.
Yes, in Itoke perspective, we in a Fijian village. It's a very it's very hard for us to do that. So we are trying our best to do that so they can understand us more.
Also that 30% representation in terms of Merewairita quorums as well.
Yes, the Merewairita quorum as well. For now, we know that they are telling us that the Turangan Koro, the assistant of the Turangan Koro is village health nurse. That is a very good point that we are going through right now in the village.
But with the village health nurse, it's a big expectation for her to take and assist the Turangani Koroi. So what's needed to help support her in the community health worker in her role as assistant to the Turangani Koroi? Mrs. Koroi, what's your view?
I think she should be empowered through some kinds of consultation, workshop, so that she knows what to do, because her responsibility is very big, looking after the whole village. And as a woman, she needs to be empowered and given some kind of initiative to know her stand in the village. But in the national council, we need more. We need more women, because that is the minimum representative guaranteed for women in the national consultation. And what I see that still women are not coming up. Why? They don't have the confidence. They are not empowered. So I'm so thankful for the FemLink who is conducting this course. We will go out and empower our women in the clubs and tell them the importance of their participation in the organizations like advisory council, the village meeting, and church meetings. All the things they should be empowered and stand up to talk. You can't just go there and sit down just for the addition of the 30%.
So we're talking about the capacity building and the training for women to be able to sit in these positions, but I'm also wondering about the actual environment at the local government level as well. So if women are expected to become advisory counsellors or community health workers, in terms of financial support, how else could they be supported? Because I remember we have advisory counsellors in the West. Neela Rao, for example, she's a very core member of our network, and she gets a stipend or a monthly allowance of about $5, which I believe a month. Is that enough?
No, not enough.
Sheleni, what do you think?
I think women should be, the advisory counsellors or women should be paid enough money because they are in hardship.
What's enough money? What figure would you like to see?
About $200
A month?
$200 or $250 a month. Because as an advisory counsellor, you have to go around the villages, move around, and you have to go to visit houses to houses. And when there's a rainy season, you can't just go like that. You have to carry an umbrella or wear a raincoat. And when it's a national disaster, you have to wear a gumboot. So you need money for that. And if you have to go to a neighborhood village, you have to hire a taxi. So where all those money will come from?
Right.
So she should be paid enough for those things.
Thank you. Pushpa, I'd like to come to you about talking about money and the provision for advisory counsellors or community health workers. The national budget is going to be announced in the middle of the year. What would you like to see included when it comes to supporting women in local government?
The reasonable amount.
Do you agree with 200 a month, or do you want it to be more?
If the government can give more the merrier. Because it's not about just we are just going in our community. Being one advisory counsellor, we have so many locations to go. It's not just Vuci. We have other areas like Ralevu, Korodiri, and then Bau. So we just can't walk. We definitely need fare. So we need 200. I think it's not much.
Not much.
Yeah, we should write a submission to the minister for more money, and then we want to see what is the procedure for the advisory counsellors, how you pick the advisory counsellor. Because myself and Pauline we were really pressing for that position, but still no reply, nothing.
So it's also about engaging dialogue with local government.
Yeah.
So thank you, ladies. I'd like to just round up today just by saying thank you for giving your recommendations and your voice and what you want to hear when it comes to women's participation in local government. And that was it from Vilomena Koroi, the Senior Circuit Steward for the Dilkusha Methodist Women's Fellowship, Sheleni Lata, Secretary for Sheetal Sharda Mothers Club in Waituri, Merewairita Nasiri from the Kaba Women's Group, and Pushpa Manu, President of the Akriti Mothers Club. I'm Alisia Evans. Thank you and join us again for another episode of Radio with Pictures in the Field.